Welcome back. I'm Audrey Krol and I'm here back in my studio to do another 20-minute painting. But before I get started on this, just let me say something. These 20-minute paintings that I'm doing are not meant to be works of art that I'm going to be putting out. If that should happen, that would be great. But these are studies that I use to learn things, to make sure my values are correct. Are my temperatures correct? My aerial perspective, all of this has to be in there. So when I do this, this is also training me to look and see them in a different way. Am I doing things correctly? This is training myself to do things intuitively, to grab my paint and put it on there and make sure the value is correct, make sure that my color temperatures are correct, make sure that my composition is correct. I set them aside and I look at them in a couple of days later and I think, would I ever paint this again? So this is a learning tool. And when I've committed to this, I've committed now to do 100 of them and keep going. Last year I quit at 50. I just got bored because I just was redoing the same thing over and over again. This year what I've done is every month I have a different theme or a different composition. I started off with landscapes and went into figures. I've done boats. That was challenging in itself. And this time we're going to be doing clouds. I love doing clouds, but you know, there's different ways of doing them. So it's me playing around and figuring out how I want my brushes to work. It's me making sure that I have the values in there. So these little things are just studies. Keep them, organize them if you want to, or just throw them in stack, but come back and look at them. All right, so now we're going to start on the painting. I've got my brushes, another big one. I have my paints laid out. And I did pre-mix some of these this time because I'm using phthalo blue, and phthalo blue is just brutal. It's so strong. So I've had to mix it up and make sure I've got my value in there. I've got a couple of reference photos. This is from the prairies, the big sky country. My clouds are out here, and I still haven't figured it out, but I think my foreground is going to be a little bit different. But anyway, I've got my clouds and the nice fluffy ones, like as they are on the prairies. So I'll start my timer this time. Okay, so brush is in there, my timer is going, and off we go. So again, we put in the dark shapes. Now clouds are very interesting because you look at them and they're puffy little marshmallowy things, but actually if you want to paint one, there's various ways of painting it. This one, I'm going to be making little boxes. Why? Because they are little boxes. They're just little boxes. You want to simplify, you want to do it. Make sure that you have little things in here. There we go. Now, what I'm using here is a combination of probably ultramarine blue and some alizarin crimson. And going off. Okay, so I have those. All right, God, they look kind of pathetic, don't they? And then I'm going to go in with a little bit of pinkish here. Just to get them up. Clouds are not just white. They are all sorts of colors. I know, it looks messy now. Just wait, it'll come along. Bottom ones. So when you're painting clouds, you also have to realize and remember that this is in the sky. They're not just flat across. You have to worry about aerial perspective in these things too. So as you do on the ground, you worry about that. Another thing on the 20-minute challenge here. You don't paint just what you see. So next one, let's see, where are we? They look like little caterpillars up there, don't they? Here we go. So I was told that when you're painting, you have to break something before you fix it. So we're breaking this up now. So we're going to break this whole composition before I fix it up. Make my little puffers up here. So now I've seen some big clouds in the Okanagan here too. They seem to get really kind of wild. But these, in the prairies, it's always just about big sky. So now we're going to add our blues. And as down at the horizon, it's always straight across and it's very light. So this is a mixture of phthalo blue, white, with a little bit of yellow in here. Just to get that blueness in. And of course, as you come up, the sky gets a little bit darker. See if we can make something out of this. This is looking quite bad. And we come up. Into the darker one. So I'm just working on an 8 by 10 panel that I just gessoed. Again, like I said, it's a study. This is not a painting. If I get a painting out of this, it'll be on a different canvas. And again, do I like the composition? Would I paint this again? What did I learn from it? Oops, I learned that I got too much blue in there, that's for sure. Let's wipe some of that off. Depends on where you put your brush. Okay, there's my mess. Okay, now let's get down to it. I'm going to make I think we're going to have a dark and stormy night. So, get these puffers up. So once I get that, what I really like to do is I get my bigger brush and I just do a little blendy. See where I'm going. What's happening. Wipe it off. I'm probably touching it too hard, but I do want to get this up. I have my perspective here. Clouds are going up. They're bigger at the top. palette knife. And you know, don't try to follow the photograph. Don't be a slave to it. Your clouds are just anything you want. Make them what yours. Your sky is yours. You know, like Bob Ross used to say, this is my cloud, this is my painting, and I can have it any way I want. And this is where you play. This is all about playing. This is about you having fun, you not being committed to anything. This is just you. And this is the fun part of it. Okay, I'm going to leave that for now. I'm going to come back to it because, well, maybe not. Maybe I'll just put a little bit of pink in here or some yellow. Back with my palette knife. Oh, I like that. Okay, so I'm going to go back down to the foreground now because I have 10 minutes left. And let's get some of this in. So this is a painting. We're going to make it something so she can recognize it. It can be whatever you want again. Doing that one, put some darks in. Let's indicate this little field. And then canola fields, maybe? Yeah. Maybe better be a bit brighter, huh? There we go. Simple. When you're making these little shapes, make sure that give them a little bit of variety because all trees aren't alike. Now, where's my little guy? I'm going to put in, how about a little house? A little house right here. So we know that someone lives in this painting. My paint needs to be a little thicker. Shall we give it a little road, maybe? A little bit of a wonky road coming down. And again, this is just something that you're playing with. This is not for me to advertise and go out there and say, look what I painted. This is for me to look at, me to say, hey, I've loosened up. I also use these 20-minute paintings as a way of getting back into painting when I have been away for a while. If I haven't painted for a while, you're rusty and you don't know how to get back and nothing's turning out. Well, you know what? Take your canvas, do a little, pick up a picture, anything. Get any kind of a reference photo and put it on. Paint it. Don't be. And after a while, after a week, if it takes you a week, you will be back to the rhythm. Should we give it a little poofer? Let's give it a little. There's some yellow in those. These 20-minute studies I just love. It's a way of playing, but you're still learning, and you're learning lots. Looking okay? Make sure they also go off your canvas. That way they don't look like they're stuck. I think well, I could keep playing for a little while here because my 20 minutes isn't up yet. So maybe I'll just give this guy a little more personality boost. I love clouds. gorgeous. There we go. I think we're done. I don't think I'm going to go any further. Well, here I say that, and here I am. I'm going to go just give this a little bit of lightness. So this is where I set these aside, and I look at them later and I think, are they even? What would I do differently? You know, can I make them any better than they already are? And you know, of course you can. One more little scoop, and then I think we are calling it done. There we go. So that's it. I'm stopping now. Thank you. So use these as reference photos for yourself if you're going to do another composition. Take a look at it. Take a look at your reference photos. Would you paint this again? What would you do differently? Or was it just a fun way to spend 20 minutes? Loosening up and just having a look at what can be, what you can do in 20 minutes and still have fun. That's the important part, is having fun. Because when you have fun, your paintings actually show it. So thank you very much for watching. If you want to see any more of my art, you can go to my website at artaudreykrol.ca. Cheers for now.